Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It's been a great day here. Been pretty busy doing a bunch of things. I had several people try and guess the words to our game, so I'm going to give you the answers, and then I have a few more cards that I pulled for today. Okay, so the first one was Monday. Okay, I don't know if that's the first one. No, it was. That was the last one. Whoops. KFC was the first one. So I couldn't say Colonel Sanders, Kentucky, wings, or buckets. I think I got that pretty good. The funniest thing is the other side of this says fried chicken, KFC's sauce, wings, and Southern. How funny it is that they put two of the same pretty much things on the same. And I think the second one was this. Uranus. I couldn't say planet, Pluto, outer space, or galaxy, but I did say Milky Way, so then that was okay. I'm glad that you guys knew exactly what I was talking about because when I said that thing's floating up in the air, that could be a lot of different things. And then I think the next one was Mardi Gras. You know, when we went to see the Zydeco band, they're from New Orleans. They threw out the beads to us. It was a festival, and I said celebration because I couldn't say festival. And they had parades. Okay. Um, the next one, I think this is the next one. It was tacos. Um, Tuesday, Mexican, tortilla, rice. Couldn't say any of those, but I did say beans. I didn't know how to describe a tortilla. I said like a flat piece of bread or something, I think. Who knows? Okay, and then the last one was Monday. So coffee, weekend, week, and work. And I know I did say day, which day is in the word, but I feel like that's okay. We're going to roll with that. I don't really know. So hopefully you got them right. Let's see how well you can do with tonight's words. Okay, the first one, here we go. It's a character in a movie. They recently just made this movie into a live action film. It has a lot of animals, and all the characters are animals. There's no humans in this movie. The main. I can't say that word. So this is the main character's father. And he's the one that got killed when the uncle knocked him off the cliff. Who is the name of this main character's father? Okay. Very popular movie. All animals. And if you know, my sister works at this place at Disney World, and they have this show there, has all these animals and live music, and see if you know what that is. Okay. Next one. Got this weird little tickle. Need some water, I guess. Okay, this next one is a food. It's in a rectangle shape. You generally eat it in the morning, but most of you probably eat it throughout the whole day. Sometimes there's white stuff all over the top of it, and then there's like sprinkles on that sometimes. Not a donut, don't think of that, because this is like a square type of thing. You can put it in so there's a machine that you use for food in the morning, and you generally stick them in the thing like that, and you press the button down, and then after it's done, it pops up. Okay, but sometimes people put these things inside that machine, not bread, okay, but it's something that's sugary and sweet. Okay. All right. Ooh, this one here is a restaurant that we have in Gearing and Scottsbluff. There's toys that come in these Happy Meals. You can get chicken nuggets and French fries and a Big Maca. What's this place called? Oh, who's in it? Who's this character? I know I'm making a fool of myself. That's okay though. Hopefully you guys can laugh. Woo-hoo. Oh, you miss me, I know. Okay. Lots of people put this on their hot dogs. It's not the yellow one, it's the other one that is the same color as like a fire truck. Okay, so what's this thing you put on your hot dogs or cheeseburgers too, I guess? I don't know. Well, I think you probably know all five of those. So put your guesses in the comments or wait until you see the answers for tomorrow. My mom saw this puffy sidewalk chalk paint recipe. So cool. So she told me about it, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. And, since it's been really nice outside, go out, or well, go make it first. Go out, paint up the sidewalk, and it'll wash away just like sidewalk chalk. So you're going to take 1 cup of flour. Well, you better make sure that this is okay with mom and dad before you go digging in the kitchen. Get permission, okay? 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, a tablespoon of dish soap, and then 5 to 10 drops of food coloring, that whatever color. And if you don't have food coloring, then you can use a little bit of washable paint if you have that. Okay, so then gotta get my drink of water, guys. Sorry. Okay, how to make it. In a large bowl, you're going to mix together the flour and the water until it's all smooth. Don't leave any chunks, hunky chunks in there, no lumps. And then stir in the dish soap. Then later on, you're going to add the food coloring. And if you mix red and blue together, you'll get purple. If you mix red and orange or red and yellow together, you'll get orange, and so on. Okay. Then once you've mixed that all together, put it into like a little bottle or like a bowl, and maybe use your finger to write it on the sidewalk. You can scoop a spoon and use that and make your design on the sidewalk. Or if you have little containers that look like this, you could put them in there and then use the puffy paint for the sidewalk. Pretty cool. And then it'll wash off, But like I said, make sure that this is all okay with your parents before you go digging in the kitchen and messing up the sidewalk. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so we left off where all the friends were trying to go get Arnold. Arnold was in this building to try and get outward, and they're kind of about the same time in the night that they're trying to do this. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to get out and they're going to find him, or if they're going to get in and then they're going to all escape together. Make a prediction. I don't really know what's going to happen. See if the prediction you make is right, because I don't really know. Here we go. The next morning, my alarm went off at about 4 o'clock, but it didn't have to because I was already up. 10 minutes later, I was dressed, downstairs, and ready to go. My parents were upstairs sleeping peacefully. If everything went according to plan, we might even be back before they knew I was missing. That was a big if, of course, but I didn't want to think about that part. At exactly 4:33, a pair of headlights pulled into my street and parked in front of a house next to ours. That was the signal. I hustled outside, ran to the van, and pulled the door open. Lester, Darlene, and Kiki were already there. "Good morning, everyone," I said, as cheerfully as possible before I realized that Lester and Darlene were both asleep. There's the alarm clock going off. "Good morning," whispered Kiki. "Can you believe this is happening?" "Not really," I said. "Where's Sarah Ann?" "We're going to go pick her up now." Kiki pointed at Lester and Darlene. "Look at these two. How can they sleep at a time like this?" I shrugged. My mom always said teenagers can sleep through anything. This proves it. The driver turned around. "How's it going? I'm Simon," he said. "Nice to meet you, Simon. Please drive carefully." I was starting to sound like my mom now. We drove about 10 minutes through the dark before pulling up across the street from Sarah Ann's house. Her house was pitch black and we couldn't see anything. After about 20 seconds of silence, I was about to ask Kiki what to do when there was a light tap on the door. For some reason, that woke Lester up. He pulled the door open and Sarah Ann hopped in, clutching her letterboard and a pink backpack. "What's in the backpack?" Lester asked. "Oh, and hey, I'm Lester." "This is Sarah." I started to say, before Sarah Ann put her hand on my arm to stop me. She reached for her letterboard and her hand started flying. I realized there was no way the Lester would be able to follow her, so I translated, "Hi, my name is Sarah Ann. Thank you for helping us." You're welcome," Lester said. "And I brought snacks," she said. Darlene opened her eyes at the word snacks. "Hey, you must be Sarah Ann," she mumbled. "I'm Darlene. Snacks. Cool." Then she closed her eyes again. Sarah Ann almost never made eye contact with anyone, but for the first time ever, I saw her shoulders relax just a little bit. She sat back in her seat and took a deep breath, then looked out the window. Simon reached back and pulled the van door shut. "We should be there in about 40 minutes, he said. So that was at 4:33 or so, and then they had to go to Sarah Ann's house. I don't know how far of a drive that was, but anyways, so then right now this is Arnold's point of view inside Saturday, 5:28 a.m. So they're really close on time. Woo-hoo! Woo! The inside of the infirmary brought back a quick flash memory. A nurse's office somewhere, a few human children, and me lying in beds, and a nice nurse taking care of us. I suddenly remembered her name, Nurse Raposo. The infirmary reminded me of her room at school, but about 1,000 times bigger and more intense. There were a bunch of rooms with hospital beds in them, and a bunch of other rooms with laboratory equipment in them, and still more rooms with chairs and blackboards and skeletons and charts of the human body. But the odd thing was, there were no actual people anywhere. Even though it was around 5:30 in the morning, I still would have expected to see security people or custodial workers, but there was no one. There was a few lights on and cameras everywhere, but no actual people. After about 10 minutes of exploring and trying to figure out where I might find the pills that I needed, I suddenly heard voices. They were very distant, but after a few seconds, I could tell that they were getting closer and closer. I needed to move and to find someplace to hide. I ran around a corner and saw a room with a black door. On the door were written in words, "Cranial insertion." Cranial is like your head. My cold blood started running even colder. Cranial insertion, meaning that's where they put the brains in. That was the moment I realized exactly what that room was and that what the whole building was. My brain buzzed with an uneasy feeling of what humans call deja vu, meaning I knew I'd been here before. The infirmary was where Project Z was implemented, where the plan was executed, where I was created. Maybe that was why the building was virtually empty, because all the zombies were already made. I ran up to the black door and tried it. Amazingly enough, it was unlocked. So I went inside. There was one dark purple light on, just enough for me to make out what was in there. There was a long steel table in the middle of the room, with a giant unlit light looming above it. I stared, trying to imagine myself lying on that table with Dr. Grassmere putting a brain inside my reanimated body. I thought, this is where I began. I closed my eyes and waited for the voices in the hall to pass by. When they got in front of the room, though, the voices stopped. I looked underneath the door and could see shadows. They weren't moving. Then the voices started up again. I tiptoed closer to the door to see if I could hear what they were saying, but I could only make out a few words here and there. "Inside the cerebral cortex," one voice said, "higher level of anger response. Can examine in the next phase," another voice said. There was a pause, and then I heard a third voice, loud and clear. "There won't be a next phase unless we find the missing subject." They were talking about me. The shadows finally moved away, and I waited another minute, then slowly opened the door and peeked down the hall. No one was there. I made my way to the stairwell, where there was a directory that listed all the rooms in the building. I scanned it quickly until I found what I was looking for. Room 207, pharmacy. If the pill they called the strength was going to be anywhere, it would be there. So I headed upstairs. Okay. Outside, Saturday, 6:38 a.m. Evan's point of view. "This is it," our driver Simon announced. "This is where you'd want me to stop, right? Mile marker 1402, right outside Dinklin County." We all looked at Sarah Ann, who nodded. "This is it," said Lester. I took maybe the deepest breath I'd ever taken. Okay. I have to say something. I know we said that the three of us would walk to the territory and the two of us would stay behind. And I'm sure you guys all think that I should be the one of the people who stay behind on the count of my leg and all. But I just want to say that I really, really want to be one of those people that go because I'm, kind of Arnold's first and best friend, of his humans friends, not including his family, of course. And so I think I should be there when we rescue him. I paused for a second, then added, which we're definitely going to do. The others looked at one another for a second, and neither of them quite was sure what to say. Then Lester said, So, Evan, let me ask you something. How fast can you walk in that thing? That thing? Said Darlene. That is so not cool, Lester. Okay, sorry, Lester muttered. So, how fast can you walk with that leg? And more to the point, how fast can you run? Fast, I said, trying to sound like I meant it. Definitely fast enough. Lester scrunched up his eyes and thought for a few seconds. Okay, it will be me, you, and Kiki. Darlene and Sarah Ann, you guys wait here for us, okay? Are you sure? Kiki asked. Sarah Ann, do you want to go? We all looked at Sarah Ann, but she kept looking out the window. She wasn't great at eye contact. After a few seconds, she shook her head, handed me the map that she had downloaded off the internet, then reached for her board. Bring him back safe. You bet, I said. We went over all the preparations one last time. If Sarah Ann's calculations were correct, we would reach the stream behind the square building in about 12 minutes. We would have approximately 7 minutes to make it across the stream and then 20 minutes to look for Arnold before it was light out. If we found him, we would call Darlene immediately to tell her we were on our way back, since we were pretty sure there would be no cell service in the woods. They'd be exactly where we left them. The car would be running. Off we'd go, and everyone would be safe and sound. That was the plan, anyway. Lester, Kiki, and I slid open the van door, which sounded really loud in the pre-dawn silence. We got outside and put the orange jumpsuits on over our clothes. Then we waved goodbye to Sarah Ann and Darlene and headed off into the woods. And yes, of course, I am stopping there. I know, I'd love to keep reading. I know, but we're getting closer, guys. If you want to do the math, we're on page 203 out of 247, so we have 44 pages left. We're getting there. I mean, you can see, here's what we've already read, all of that. And we just have just a teeny little bit left. There's not a whole lot there. So, we're getting there, guys. It's a good story. Oh. Ooh, I want to know what happens. Maybe I'll just keep reading ahead without you. Just kidding, I'll wait for tomorrow. Because I want to read it at the same time as we're reading it together, because I don't want to go ahead, because that's cheating for my part. So don't you worry, I'm not going to. But anyways, have a happy Monday. And I'm still trying to get a hold of everybody. Some parents still aren't calling me back or picking up or whatever. So I hope that I get to talk to you here. Also, I sent out a remind to your parents that Wednesday, so today's Monday, Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have what's called a Zoom call meeting or whatever. And basically, if you get on your phone or your tablet or your iPad or a computer or whatever, you can go into your school email. And there's a link that I sent you, and you click on that link, and there might be a code you have to type in. I'm not really quite sure, and it might just take you to it automatically. You click join the call, and then your face will pop up, and we'll all get to chat and talk together, and we'll see each other, and just have a fun old time, and talk for just a little bit, and tell stories, and just almost like if we were in class together, we could see each other and everything, and have fun that way. And my goal is to do these once a week or maybe twice a week. I don't know. We'll see. Because I know some of you are not doing a whole lot. So I guess we'll see what happens. I don't really know. So, yeah, if you or your parents have any questions, let me know. But that will be Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Can't wait to see you guys. Bye.